This video is sponsored by Squarespace. Hey guys, Jay here. Welcome to Models Memories Weekly, episode 143. Models Memories is a show about nothing and is filmed in front of a live studio audience. This is a show where I talk about painting, modeling, and working experiences from the week. Now you might be thinking to yourself, Jay, you put out 3 YouTube videos a week. How? Could I possibly have more to say? Well, I do, and here goes. This week, Games Workshop had a special event all about books. They have a new holiday miniature to go along with the old holiday miniature, and they just cannot stop making orcs. But first, have you always needed a website to call your own but you don't know where to get started? Well, today's sponsor, Squarespace, can help with that. Squarespace makes it easy and fun to dive headfirst into website design with simple-to-use features and professional support from start to finish. Start by looking through one of their dozens of templates on offer to see which one resonates with you. Or create your own using the next-gen Fluid Engine Designer. Every detail is customizable to fit your website needs. Dragging and dropping allows you to create the website that you envision. Squarespace also provides a fast solution to creating a storefront online. Whether your products are physical, digital, or service-based, now selling your custom merch is easier than ever with Squarespace. Squarespace offers a free trial for you to dip your feet into and test the water, and when you're ready to dive in headfirst, you can use our link below or type in squarespace.com/EonsBattle to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Raise your hand if you were super excited for the book reveal. I've liked the Warhammer books a lot, but I wasn't super excited for just an evening of showing off new books coming out. Like, there's always new books coming out, and it's super exciting, but one of the books actually caught my eye because it is kind of the coolest thing. The Black Library, The Art of the Horus Heresy. That book is absolutely dope. I am 100% buying that. I love art books. I have so many art books for movies, video games, and TV shows that I really, really like. It's like so much fun to get. This won't be behind the scenes, probably. I mean, it might have some sketches or something, but I would guess it's the finished drawings that are actually inside of some of the black books and the actual rule books for Horus Heresy or Horsey Heresy. But this, I mean, Black Library, The Art of the Horus Heresy. Horus Heresy is pretty dope looking. If there was The Art of Warhammer 40,000, holy cow. If you've ever accidentally typed in like Warhammer and gotten to one of Games Workshop's many weird little websites, like Games Workshop has every website you can imagine. There's like Warcry, Age of Sigmar, Adeptus Titanicus is probably still floating out there somewhere, everything you can imagine, but they actually have a website where they sell art prints of their art. And they're way too expensive, but they've always kind of tempted me just a little bit because you get these nice, big, beautiful renderings of some of the most iconic art from the world of Warhammer 40,000. I mean, this is that all rolled up into one coffee table book. It's exceptional. They better make a ton of these things because I feel like me and every single weirdo is going to want this art book. Like there's also like a Sister of Battle book about Morven Vol. They can print a normal number of those, I think. I don't think it's gonna matter too much, but like they better do like a double and triple run of the art book because man, I'm gonna have to be fighting against every 30K weirdo and be hopping on the Games Workshop web store and trying to get in because they put you in a queue if there's like anything slightly popular going on, which is super annoying. The Art of the Horus Heresy is super exciting. Make an art of everything. Make the art of Necromunda. Make the art of Warhammer 40,000. Make the art of Age of Sigmar. Treat yourself. That would be fun too. This book looks absolutely dope. I cannot wait to get my hands on this, and it'll look lovely next to The Art of District 9 and The Art of Mad Max Fury Road. But speaking of Mad Max Fury Road, sort of, the new Christmas model is lovely. I don't know, I mean, they showed off in November, the little grot on the chimney, and he was super cute, the red Gobbo. I like that model a lot. It didn't really butter my bread or jingle my jams, jingle my bells. Like, I didn't really feel like picking them up. I like meme models a lot, but I think meme models from Games Workshop, except for Crab, of course, we all love Crab, Warcry Crab. Meme models from Games Workshop are just kind of pricey. I'd much rather get like a weird 3D print online of like Space Marine Buzz Lightyear or Necron Hello Kitty. But this model is gorgeous. Also painted impeccably. It's kind of weird how the painters at Games Workshop, they have a style that is it's actually really hard to paint like the Games Workshop box art, but it looks like you could probably do it because everything is kind of a color with a little bit of shading and highlighting. It looks like they painted this model up and then handed it off to someone else for the parcels and boxes in his mouth because damn, those are impeccable. They're so gorgeous. Like the non-metallic metal on all of the ribbon. One of the little boxes poking out is literally a box of Terminators. Microscopically, you can see on the side the little white heads and blue bodies of the Terminators. It's incredible. Like, I want to get this model just because someone did such a good job painting it. Holy cow. It's also a squig, and I feel like a squig is slightly more fun than the red gobbo. And you get some fun stuff like some grots and snotlings who are having a hard time holding them down. It is really, really good. I don't know why there's 2 Christmas models this year. I think there's usually just 1 or none. They don't always do a Christmas model. But this year we get 2, and this guy, I really, really like him. He is super, super fun. Man, the highlighting on those boxes, that blue going from black all the way up to like electric magic blue. It's so crisp. And then you just look at the rest of the model and it's like regular, well done Games Workshop box art, but then those boxes, it looks like they really, every now and then Games Workshop kind of lets their artists go all out on certain places, and they definitely let somebody really go ham on those boxes. That box of Terminators. How do you even do that? Like you need like the little telescope monocle that like zooms all the way in. Man, that is really, really impressive. And this is a squig. This model's probably tiny. And the little mean gobbo. Oh, what's he got in that sack? I guess more boxes. It's really, really good. The red gobbo from November is also really good. It's a really fun miniature. I like that he's not wearing pants. It's just a fun touch that makes him look even funnier. And I guess even though he brought gifts and toys that include dice, paintbrushes, and Games Workshop paint pots, apparently he's gonna throw a bomb down the chimney. So I guess if you are good, then you get Games Workshop stock, and if you're bad, you get exploded. It's kind of, I feel like that goes along with the Orks, and I feel like that's nice and cute, but this model, I think it's also just the kind of diorama that goes along with him. It just feels a little bit small and busy. And he's framed weirdly on it. I feel like it's not a very artistic framing. I feel like it's just, they took a circular punch out of a house and then they put the red gobbo right on top. It's okay, I like this model, but it's not that squig. It's not that squig with the boxes in his mouth. But speaking of squigs, and specifically Princess the Squig, there is a new model to go along with the sequel to, not Flash Kits, Brutal Cunning. Brutal Cunning is a really good orc book with some Adeptus Mechanicus characters in it. It's really, really fun. If you're looking to like dip your feet into some books, or if you're an orc player who wants to dip their feet into the Black Library novels, Brutal Cunning is really, really fun. It's great because you kind of understand how the orcs do warfare. They're not, like, they don't do war. It's just a series of violent problem solving. It's kind of great. Like, super awful violent things will happen and the orcs will just be like, how do we get through this problem? It's really, really fun. And there is now an official model, which I think Games Workshop should always do. Technically we have Eisenhorn. There's a little model of Eisenhorn, so there's sometimes every now and again do it, but I think they should do it every single time because it just leads to more miniatures. In this article, it does say that he will have Legends rules and be available to take as just a generic war boss, which, sure, he fits the bill as generic war boss, but that gun looks pretty spicy, and the war boss cannot take a spicy gun, especially with changes to combi weapons. RIP combi weapons. They're fine now, I guess, but I used to always bring Scorches on my war bosses, and it was great. It was a little icing on the cake to fire off some flame before charging in. Now it's just 2 shots that are gonna miss every single time. It's like you might as well not roll it. But this guy, Games Workshop. I think Games Workshop likes orcs too much. Like, there's always this kind of idea that Games Workshop adores Space Marines and nobody else gets anything. I feel like orcs have also always been pretty well taken care of. Space Marines and orcs have always gotten new models and new miniatures in every single era of Games Workshop. The orcs have been really well taken care of. And even when their codex isn't even on the horizon and nothing is coming out for them, Games Workshop's like, well, we gotta make another orc model. It's the most fun we get to have over here. I love his like stapler electric gun. I love his hammer. I love Princess. Somehow Princess, he balances the gun against Princess, which doesn't make any sense. Like, does she just run around and the gun is bobbing on her back? And then he just, every now and then, he's like, whistles for her to come over and then grabs his giant gun and lifts her off the ground. It's just so characterful and fun. This guy is really, really good and really, really fun. I feel like he's kind of a good in-between normal orcs and not cruel boys, beast snagas, with of course the Bad Moon's Moon, which I think he would actually make a really great proxy for Captain Badrook, because Captain Badrook actually does have a pretty okay orky gun, and he's a Bad Moon, so this guy would fit really nicely. I mean, he could even replace him because Badrook is still Finecast somehow. Badrook is a really, really cool orc model, but this guy is pretty dope too. It's hard to tell what kind of a base he's on. He looks like he could be on a 50, which is really, really big. But I love Princess so much. It's so fun. Just the orcs, and then the orcs are problem solving their way through a war. And then the Adeptus Mechanicus are like, though nothing the orcs are doing makes any sense. Why are we losing this battle? We have superior numbers, we have superior technology. How come we can't predict the orcs' movements? And it is because they are the orcs, and there is no predicting their movement. But speaking of combi weapons, Games Workshop went to free war gear and they got rid of combi weapons and 2 of each gun, turning it back into a version of twin linked. And this was fine. I actually like this a lot for most things in 40K, because usually it's like the secondary gun. You got your main tank or your main cannon, and then you've got like a storm bolter or like a twin heavy stubber or something. And so it's not that big a deal to have a few less, more accurate shots. It actually makes the game a little bit faster because you're rolling less dice and you can count on those dice results a little bit more. However, so many units are like, they only have either 2 of a gun or they have like combi weapons that are like specifically designed to be good. And I feel like those units, Games Workshop probably just did like a text search and replace for everything that was twin something and then just turned it into twin linked. And that's fine on most things, but some things that are specifically like 2 guns, or that's all they've got is 2 guns, like Games Workshop, it really kind of hurts. Like my perfect Centurion Devastators, they're so lovely and cool. And even though they got 2 fistfuls of las cannons, they get 1 shot apiece. 3 shots coming from my Centurions a turn, and 3 dice rolled by me basically means I'm rolling 1 dice with a 50-50 of it actually going off. They have 2 las cannons. At least give me something, a little something, maybe sustained hits or something. Actually, that kind of reminds me of the Daka Jet. The Daka Jet, Daka, you would think you're throwing fistfuls of dice, which you were in 9th edition. You would throw like 36 dice, which was amazing to actually get past the 5-up ballistic skill. Games Workshop like took away almost all of the attacks. Now it's between 8 and 12 attacks, depending on if you're within half range or not. And weirdly, those attacks are more accurate with sustained hits 5-up. So you can sort of count on getting like 10 hits off, but you can't like, it's weird that the Daka Jet that just wipes out infantry squads is now no longer necessarily going to wipe out infantry squads. It's just going to throw some surprisingly accurate low strength hits. It's a really weird, like fundamental change to that unit. Oh, and Junith for the Sisters of Battle, her giant pulpit mega flamer. One of the coolest looking flamethrowers in Warhammer 40K, fueled from gigantic Prometheum tanks on a literal like flying chariot. 6 shots, D6 shots, probably average 2 or 3. I get it. It's physically 2 flamethrowers, so all things that are 2 of something now become twin linked. But you could pick and choose. It's a special Ministorum flamethrower. Like you could have the Ministorum flamethrower actually ignore twin or just be a little bit better. And it is a little bit better at strength 6, AP -1, but just D6 shots. I mean, have fun toasting like half of 1 Space Marine every turn. Poor Junith is very much just a command point battery for the Sisters of Battle. They just did it across the board without double checking if some units needed a little extra help. I think some things that only have these twin or combi weapons could have used a little bit more finesse in their rules writing, where some things like storm bolters or hurricane bolters are totally fine being twin linked. But you know it's a heck of a lot better than totally fine. That's right, our Patreon. Over there we have monthly terrain packs. This month we have the Plasma Pipes, a totally tubular set of plants, pipes, power generators, and of course robo-skeleton workers. With magnet-ready slots, this energetic set of terrain is ready to crisscross a battlefield. And if you always want to be up to date on the goings-on at Eons of Battle and be entertained to our monthly giveaways, this month we're picking 3 followers to receive this month's set of terrain. You can follow the link in the description below to sign up to our newsletter. I'm gonna have to reread Brutal Cunnin to get ready for the new Ork book, the part 2. I do appreciate a good series, and the Orks don't often get a lot of love. I hope that we see this character go from, he went from a lowly boy all the way up to a war boss. I want to see him become almost like, not Gazgul, but become like a known entity, like Badruck or one of the other known Ork war bosses. It would be really cool. Thanks for watching.